Welcome to Inner Peace Arts Unscripted. I'm your host, James Coleman. This is episode 25, season 1. Once again, I write at innerpeacearts.wordpress.com. I write on spirituality, personal development, and social change. Email me at innerpeacearts@protonmail.com. Today is a very, very exciting episode because I'm going to explain the coordination between personal development, spirituality, and social change, and why I think they are a very powerful combination for getting something done or moving culture in the right direction. And I hope that that this understanding empowers you as much as it empowers me and helps you see the relationship between the big picture and the actual things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Because if it's not practical, it's pointless. And finding practicality is often a challenge. I know for me in the development of all these ideas, it took a long time before I understood the practicality or could make the connections. But once they're made, you really get it. So it starts with personal development, right? That's your basic skills, okay? Your memory skills, math skills, like I tell my kids, speaking, reading, writing, math, memory, drawing, right? Those are your basic skills, language skills, interpersonal skills, etc. All of those skills need to be developed for you as a human being to get anything done, right? The spirituality is about the energizing of those personal skills, okay? And spirituality is about direction of the personal skills. And the social change is about the implementation and coordination of that energy and those skills toward some agenda, right? You're doing it anyway. If you work for a pharmaceutical company, you are in league with their agenda, like it or not, okay? There's no getting around that. So my point is, what's the agenda that I want to be a part of? If the agenda that's available to me is not one that I want to be a part of, then I have to make up a new one. This is not just me being, you didn't get this in life, or you didn't get that in life, and now you're mad, and no. The problems with, let's just say, capitalism and the way we currently live, they're known, and they have been known for quite a while. Just pick up any sociology book and you'll see, I think it's called The Functional Perspective, right? Where it basically talks about how mass culture alienates and blah, 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 blah. So this is not just me mad, okay? It's not. There are millions of people who are disenfranchised and don't know how to coordinate themselves to create the kind of life that they want to create, and are not energized to sacrifice themselves in order to create that for themselves or their children. And this is where I mentioned this to somebody else I was talking to. And I'm going to say this, people get scared, but this is where the fascists got it right. Yes, I said it. You have to be willing to put everything in for what you believe. And this is not foolishness, but it's also biblical, right? You have not resisted sin to the point of sweating blood, right? So this idea of to the death is not new, but it's real, because unless you're getting to that point, you're going to be following somebody else's agenda, and you are going to be a tool in their toolkit, like it or not. Now, and I'm just saying, be aware of what your agenda is. Hey, if you don't like the Inner Peace Arts agenda, hey, find another one. I'm not saying mine's, but I'm saying recognize that you are serving an agenda, and that agenda is a social determinant. Okay, it does it, and that agenda is part of what changes culture, what is social change. So that's why, getting back to my point, personal development, spirituality, and social change are the three keys to, or three starting points, starting places for coordinating your actions to create a new culture. And that's essentially what it is. And let's just take it from a spirituality perspective, because this is controversial, right? I mean, if we're talking about universal consciousness, Christ consciousness, the Buddha nature, whatever you want to call it, that universality thing, right? That expression is going to be different than what we are currently experiencing, meaning that we're going to have different practices around how we treat the basics of life: food, clothing, shelter, economics, sexuality, what else? Food, water, clothing, sex, fellowship, how we treat those things. What are the rules that should govern them? They're not the rules that are governing them today, at least not from a social perspective. And having that conversation is a big to do, especially in spirituality, because they're very staunch traditions in a lot of ways. Yeah, so that's just a little bit on why personal development, spirituality, and social change are the foundations for pushing an agenda forward. And you're going to find personal development in our culture. You're going to find spirituality in our culture hidden behind, economic beliefs, scientism, as they like to say. But there are agendas that drive the scientific community. And those agendas are, in my opinion, essentially religious agendas. There's no basis for them other than this is what we like, okay? And so I say, this is something I don't like, and I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to pretty much sacrifice everything in order to get it done. And that requires social change. Is not something any one person can do alone, because I didn't make this shirt alone. I'm not able to, produce this video alone. I mean, I'm using technology that somebody else built. So I'm involved in a social network that's being used to promote, an agenda. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share this morning. I think it was very exciting, and I think it gives a real kind of grounding to, why you do what you do and what skills you actually want to work on. Because do you want to work on language skills? Do you want to work on math skills? Do you want to work on interpersonal skills? Do you want to work on, and then how are you energizing them with spirituality? And then what agenda are you using them for? I'm James Coleman. This has been episode 25, season 1 of Inner Peace Arts Unscripted. Check out the blog. Write me, innerpeacearts at protonmail.com. Love to be in conversation with you. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.